Qatar Airways are renowned for having one of the best business class products in the entire sky. The Q Suite business class product from Qatar Airways is what we're looking at right now. And in today's video, I'm going to take you through exactly how you can unlock 50% off Qatar business class flights. Now the good news is that almost everyone can do this strategy that I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to take you through in depth, step by step, exactly how we can go about doing it. But before I get into that, if these videos are helpful to you, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up and also left a comment letting me know that these videos are helpful. If you want more help as well, check out the link in the video description for my Patreon group. Now that that's out of the way, let's get straight into it. So this first screen here is indicating how much it would usually cost for you to go out and pay cash to fly from Sydney to Doha on business class. Now you can actually purchase this same flight from two different companies. Qatar Airways directly sell this flight because it is their flight, and Velocity also partner with Qatar, and sometimes these Qatar flights are branded as Velocity flights. You can see the price difference in those two options there, but as a rule of thumb, it's roughly going to cost you around $6,000 for these sort of flights. Now that's pretty decent value considering you're getting almost 15 hours in one of the world's best business class product in the sky. If we compare that to like flights from Sydney to Los Angeles, you're usually paying close to $10,000 for a Qantas business class seat, which in my opinion, I don't think would be as good a business class product as the Qatar suites. Even though you're getting decent value, still paying $6,000 for a one-way flight is really not too practical. That's a lot of money to spend, especially because most of the time you're probably going to be asleep. So how can we go about getting 50% off these flights? Now I'm going to show you two different strategies, but the very first strategy will be by using Velocity points. Now don't be concerned if you don't have any Velocity points. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get them. But pretty much for this first strategy, we need to find the reward seat availability. So I use a site called Seats.aero. Seats.aero will allow me to scan the Velocity Frequent Flyer website and find these business class reward seats, which will usually allow me to book those flights with points. So instead of paying $6,000 for a business class seat with cash, I instead want to look for the points rates, which you can see here. I can book those same flights for 119,500 points, and I'll also pay some fees as well. It's usually around $400 in cash fees. Once I know the dates and flights available to book with points, I then have to go and double check that it is definitely available on the Velocity Frequent Flyer website. So for this example, I typed in the 24th of February and it did indicate that there were reward seats available I could book with points. Now chances are I might not have 119,500 Velocity points to book. So how do I go about and get them? If you have been watching this channel for a little while, you should know exactly how you can earn more frequent flyer points. But if you are time constrained and you just want to buy them instantly, you can literally just buy them directly from the Velocity Frequent Flyer program. Now they do have different tiers. I think the tier before this was 100,000 Velocity points, which would not get us enough points required to book this flight. So instead I had to opt for the 150,000 point option, which is going to cost us $3,500. Now in order to buy these points, I believe you have to have, I think it's about 500 Velocity points in your account. Go onto the Velocity Frequent Flyer website and check out what the terms and conditions are. It's pretty minimal. I think it's 500 or 5,000 Velocity points you need in your account in order to purchase points directly from Velocity. But you can see here, once we can purchase them directly from Velocity, we then also have to consider the flight taxes here, in addition to how much it's costing us to purchase those points. So the total, assuming that we purchased the points and also paid these taxes here, would set us back just under $4,000, which means it's going to be almost a $2,000 saving, which equals close to 33% off if we were to buy the points and then purchase it directly from Velocity and then book this reward seat. That's not bad, but we can actually improve this whole strategy and get even further discounts. So in order to do that, we go back to Seats.aero. Now I personally use Seats.aero to speed this whole process up. You don't have to use Seats.aero. You can just use the airline's website. It's just going to be a lot slower. For me, particularly if you have any interest in frequent flyer points, Seats.aero is an amazing tool. When I use Seats.aero here, I can also select the Qatar Frequent Flyer program. I can then get a list of all of the dates and flights available using Qatar points, and you can see here the very first thing is it's a lot cheaper booking directly through Qatar's airline loyalty program compared to the Velocity Frequent Flyer program. It's 119,500 points booking through the Velocity Frequent Flyer program, but only 70,000 when we book directly through Qatar. Now that I've found the dates available through the Qatar Frequent Flyer program, I can do the exact same thing, go onto the Qatar Frequent Flyer program and then double check that they have business class reward availability. You can see it does. 70,000 points will unlock this 14-hour flight from Sydney to Doha in business class. And there are actually 3 seats available to book at this rate, which is great. Now you will need a Qatar Frequent Flyer account, but you can sign up for free. Now if you do want to buy points from Qatar's Frequent Flyer program, read through the terms and conditions to make sure you're eligible. I'm pretty sure you've had to have some sort of activity in your account or have some sort of points balance in order to purchase these points. If you've got Amex membership points, just transfer a little bit over to Qatar and then you should be eligible to purchase these points. But if we do the numbers on here, to purchase 70,000 Avios Qatar points, it's going to set us back $2,500. Once we consider the flight taxes to book this seat as well through the Qatar program, but the total when we buy points and book reward seats through Qatar is around $3,000, meaning we just saved 50% off. Now that is fantastic, but we can go one step even further, which is if you've booked any reward flights with the Qatar Frequent Flyer program recently, Qatar actually have this option here where you can receive reward points faster and you can boost the amount of Avios points that you're earning. For me personally, I just booked flights to Europe next year. I've spent 160,000 Avios points with Qatar, and the amount of points that I've spent with Qatar, they actually give me this option to boost that same amount, and I can purchase these Avios points even cheaper than the previous page. Now they don't give you an option to select exactly how many points you can boost this way. So for the maths to explain it cheaper for you, I have put the maths here because we know it's going to cost us 70,000 points to book that Sydney to Doha flight with Qatar miles. I can actually get 2 of those flights with this 160,000 Avios, which means 2 flights. Once we factor in those flight fees that we pay in addition to this points amount, the total for those 2 flights will set us back $4,700. Usually, if we were to buy those 2 seats, remember on the Google Flights example, $6,000 each, if we were to buy 2 of those flights, which is the amount that we can book when we unlock these points, it would usually set us back $12,000, meaning we just saved 60% off, or over $7,000 when we do this method. Now this will only work when you find reward seats available to book with points, which is why I use Seats.aero, because it really helps me find those reward seats very, very quickly. This is not going to work for every particular date and every particular flight that you're after. It will only work for those reward flights. The great thing is with the Qatar Frequent Flyer program, they often have plenty of reward seat availability, meaning this will work on plenty of different flights. Now this will get even better if you just earn the points and you don't have to buy them. You can save massively. If you do need help with that sort of stuff, check out the other videos I have on this channel. But if you want the fast track method, I've been doing this for 10 years. I teach everything I know inside my Patreon group. Plus, in addition to that, every single day I scan the entire Qantas and Velocity website and I share with my members the best reward seats that they can book every single day. Hope to see you in that group. I hope today's video was helpful and I will see you in the next one.